Manifest your future because your life is yours. Buenos dias, naimbag na malem. Good evening at magandang buhay sa lahat. I hope everyone is safe and healthy. I, together with my warrior classmates, are happy and glad to welcome you in our video for today. This video is our fifth law, the commercial law on the subject of legal aspects in tourism and hospitality. Commercial law, also known as mercantile law or trade law, is the body of law that applies to the rights, relations, and conduct of person and businesses engaged in commerce, merchandising, trade, and sales. A broad term for a range of legal services designed to support businesses in making money from their products and services. To discuss and to learn more about commercial law, here's my groupmate.
Commercial law is also known as mercantile law. It is a broad term for a range of legal services designed to support businesses in making money from their products and services. It governs the broad areas of businesses, commerce, and consumer transactions. Specific law has developed in a number of commercial fields, and also it is an assemblage of customs and practices governing a broad range of a business practice at the local, country, and international levels. In general, it sets forth the rights, responsibilities, and liabilities of the parties involved in a business event. Among other areas, mercantile law addresses contracts, copyrights, franchising, insurance, licensing, patents, and the transport of goods. In short, mercantile law involves all aspects of buying and selling between parties, and so knowledge of it is a requirement for those designing business contracts.
Republic Act 1123-2, or the Act providing for the revised Corporation Code of the Philippines, was signed into law by President Rodrigo Duterte on the 21st of February 2019. This law modifies the 38-year-old Corporation Code to improve the ease of doing business in the Philippines. And those modifications includes the removal of minimum numbers of incorporators, imposition of 1 million minimum capital stock on stock corporations, and it also includes the removal of 50-year corporate term, and allowance for single-person corporation, whether natural or judicial, to organize and put up a corporation. And there are also some changes regarding the corporate officers, board meetings, nationality of a corporation, removal of a member of the board of directors or trustees, and in digital means.
A corporation is formed when a group of shareholders share ownership of the corporation, as presented by holding their stock shares and pursue a common goal from it. The great majority of corporations seek to make profit for their shareholders. Non-profit or not-for-profit corporations, on the other hand, include charity and fraternal organizations. In any case, shareholders, as so-called corporate owners, take no responsibility for the potential loss of their investment. A private or closed corporations may have a single or multiple shareholders. Thousands of shareholders own stock in publicly traded companies.
So how does corporation operate? The shareholders of a corporation typically receive one vote per share. They hold an annual meeting during which they elect a board of directors. The board hires and oversees the senior management that is responsible for the corporation's day-to-day activities. The board of directors executes the corporation business plan, although the members of the board are not personally responsible for the corporation's debts. They owe a duty of care to the corporation and can incur personal liabilities if they neglect this duty. Some tax charters also provide for the personal liabilities of the board of the directors.
According to the Corporation Code of the Philippines, a corporation is defined as an artificial being created by operation of law having the rights of succession and the power attributes and properties expressly authorized by law or incident to its existence. When a corporation's original owners and shareholders change or die, the corporation doesn't change or dissolve with them. All responsibilities and liabilities such as taxes still apply. A corporation can potentially live forever. It has no natural death, however, it can be killed by competition or at the discretion of owners themselves. Here are a few examples of corporations formed under the Corporation Code can be voluntarily or involuntarily dissolved. Where no creditors are affected, Section 118, with no harm done to creditors with claim against the corporation, this form of dissolution can be initiated via a majority vote by the corporation's board of trustees, a resolution from the approving vote of the stockholders that own at least 2/3 of the outstanding shares, or by at least 2/3 of the members of the meeting called by directors or trustees. And for involuntary dissolution, Section 121, a corporation can be dissolved by the SEC after a verified complaint is filed against the company and the following proper notice and hearing. The following are grounds for dissolution. When a corporation becomes inoperative for a minimum of 5 years, as stated in Section 22, called effects on non-use of corporate charter and continuous in operation of corporation. And when a company fails to file the required reports in appropriate forms described by the SEC.
A partnership is a business organization that is an association of at least 2 or more persons who agree to place money, property, or industry in the common fund with the aim of sharing the profits among themselves. The Civil Code of the Philippines also defines partnership as a juridical entity with a lawful object or purpose for the common benefit or interest of the partners. Partnerships may either be general partnerships where the partners have a limited liability for the debts and obligations of the partnership, or limited partnerships where one or more general partners have unlimited liability and the limited partners have liability only up to the amount of their capital contributions, and it consists of 2 or more partners.
A partnership is a business arrangement in which 2 or more people own an entity and personally share its profits, losses, and risks. A partnership is different from a corporation in many ways. First, there is no time limit for the existence of the partnership, as this depends on the agreement of the parties. Second, as to the beginning of the juridical personality, a partnership becomes a juridical person from the time the contract begins. The requirements to be submitted to the Securities and Exchange Commission in order for the partnership to be recorded will be displayed on the screen. Third, the transferee does not automatically become a partner unless all the other partners give their consent. Fourth, as a liability to the third persons, partners may be held liable with their private and personal property. Lastly, a partnership may be dissolved due to the insolvency, civil interdiction, death, insanity, or retirement of any of the partners.
Now that we already learned what a partnership is and how is it created, allow me to discuss with you how partnership operates here in our country. According to the Civil Code of the Philippines, Article number 1784, partnership begins from the moment of execution of the contract unless it is otherwise stipulated by the Article number 1679. Partnership only exists if all partners agree to by themselves to share their profits, liabilities, rights, and properties. Article number 1776, as to its object, partnership is either universal or particular, and referring to its liabilities of partners, partnership may be limited or general based on the article number 1671.
So basically, in universal partnership, all the properties possessed by each partner will be contributed to both ownership and naked ownership, including the profit that they may acquire within the partnership. However, an exemption happens when the properties of the partners acquired by inheritance, legacy, or donation cannot be included in stipulation. On the other hand, particular partnership has an objective to determine things, their use of fruit, a specific undertaking, or exercise of profession or vocation. Moving on, liabilities of general partners are liable to the extent of their separation of properties after the partnership asset has been exhausted, while the liabilities of limited partnership will only be liable up to the extent of his contribution. Furthermore, the essential requisite of partnership here in the Philippines are as follows.
Good day everyone! So for today's video, I will be going to discuss on how a partnership can be dissolved. A dissolution of partnership generally occurs when one of the partnerships ceases to be a partner in the firm. Dissolution is distinct from the termination of a partnership and the winding up of a partnership business. Although the term dissolution implies termination, dissolution is actually the beginning of the process that ultimately terminates a partnership. It is, in essence, a change in the relationship between the partners. Accordingly, if a partner resigns or if a partnership expels a partner, the partnership is considered legally dissolved. The other cause of dissolutions are bankruptcy or death of partners, an agreement of all partners to be dissolved, or an event that makes the partnership business illegal. For instance, if a partner operates gambling casino and gambling subsequently becomes illegal, the partnership will be considered legally dissolved. In addition, the partner may withdraw from the partnership and thereby cause a dissolution. If, however, the partner withdraws in violation of partnership agreement, the partner will be liable for damages as a result of untimely or unauthorized withdrawal.
Now, giving you an example, Del Carmen in Surigao del Norte, that place is generally termed as Siargao Islands, is known for its magnificence, the beauty that people, well, the tourists, want to experience. In fact, in 2019, it has approximately 200,000 tourist arrivals, with almost half of it being foreigners. With that large number of tourists, the islands require much action for it to continue showing its beauty. Vice Mayor Alfredo Coro II of the local government unit of Del Carmen established a long-term partnership with Welllife Corporation for the conservation of the municipality's mangrove forests. Lainey Espiel Bereso is the chairman and the lady behind the Welllife Corporation. Welllife is a home care eco-friendly products company, and in May 18, 2021, the chairman signed a memorandum of agreement with a local government unit for the company's extension of regular support for the conservation of 10 hectares of the mangrove forests, and turn over an initial cash grant amounting to 150,000 to the Siargao Islands Wildlife Conservation Foundation. This partnership is a huge effort that will help save the marine ecosystem in the area and thus retain the beauty of the Siargao Islands for years to come.
What is insurance? Insurance is a contract whereby one undertakes for a consideration to indemnify another against loss, damage, or liability arising from an unknown contingent event. Every corporation, partnership, or association duly authorized to transact insurance business as elsewhere provided in the insurance code may be an insurer. Anyone except a public enemy may be insured. The insurer is the party who agrees in the indemnify another upon the happening of a specified contingency. The insured is the party to be indemnified in case of a loss, the beneficiary is the person who received the benefits of the insurance policy upon its maturity.
Insurable interest means in simple terms that someone will experience financial hardship upon your death. Who can have insurable insurance? Your family generally qualifies automatically, your spouse or partner, which is the most common example of someone you will be considered to have an insurable interest in. Second, your children. You also have an insurable interest in your children, but your child does need to be 18 or older in order for you to purchase a policy on them. Third, other relatives. You may need to show additional documentation to insure other relatives, such as a sibling with a disability or an aging parent who relies on you for financial support. You must know that it is an essential requirement for issuing an insurance policy that makes the entity or event legal, valid, and protected against intentionally harmful acts.
What are the available insurance and to listen? So today I am going to discuss the travel insurance and its benefits. So what is travel insurance? It is an insurance product for covering unforeseen losses incurred while traveling. So it's either internationally or domestically. And the basic policies generally only cover the emergency or medical expenses while overseas. While the comprehensive policies, which considered as the benefits, typically include the coverage for the trip cancellation, the lost luggage, the flight delays, the public liability, and other expenses. So in general, it is absolutely vital that you have the suitable insurance in place to protect not just your trip, but also you and your family. So let's now proceed on the outline of the true value of travel insurance policy and why it is so important to have. Number 1, we have the medical expenses and emergency assistance. So the medical expenses section of your travel insurance policy is there to help to cover the doctor and or the hospital bills. So traveling without the insurance and then needing medical care abroad, they're then required to pay the cost of the treatment themselves, that's often totaling thousands of pounds. The second one is the personal possession and luggages. This section covers for the loss, the theft, and damage for your bag or suitcase, as well as the items you're bringing, such as the clothes, the jewelry, and the eyewear. This is usually a total monetary amount that you are covered for. The third one, cancellation cover. Getting your money back on all different elements of your booking can be tricky. However, the cancellation section of your travel insurance policy is there to help you in this kind of situation. The fourth one, we have the personal liability. The benefit of personal liability is paid to cover the expenses due to injury to a third person's or damage to that person's property. Costs associated with that accident will be covered according to the policy terms and conditions. Last number, we have the number 5, so flight delays. It could be caused by the weather, aircraft maintenance issues, or even emergency situations. So it is a common situation that travelers face. If a reason covered by your policy, you can be eligible for reimbursement of reasonable expenses after the coverage limit is specified in this policy.
It is important that we need to know what our rights are and what things that are wrong, because I believe that actions are invisible unless something goes wrong. Commercial law defines rights and obligations of parties in different types of contracts, such as agency agreements, guarantees, and contracts for carriage, sales, and purchase of goods. We must know commercial law because in that way we avoid fraudulent activity. Law is always around us, but we just don't know it. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you have learned a lot. Always take care and be safe, everyone. Please like and subscribe and press the bell icon to get new video updates. Bye-bye!